It's a life-changing week in Coronation Street for beloved character Debbie Webster, Sue Devaney, as she is told she may have young-onset dementia, with her having reflected on a number of worrying signs. Keeping the potential diagnosis a secret from her loved ones, she is determined for things to be business as usual. The Webster clan has issues of their own elsewhere too, with Kevin, Michael Lavelle, lashing out fiercely at those around him, including Tyrone, Alan Halsall, and Abby, Sally Carmen. Later, after Abby meets a flirtatious new face, she is shocked to discover his true identity. Meanwhile, Todd Grimshaw, Gareth Pierce, is given a plea ahead of a funeral, while Dee Dee Bailey, Chanique Sterling Brown, has a fight on her hands. With relations between Jack and Kevin still strained, Jack is furious when Kevin grounds him. Tyrone, meanwhile, wants to bury the hatchet. In the Rovers, Glenda is unsure about serving Kevin, but he snaps at her before rounding on Tyrone when he arrives. When Tyrone labels him nasty and selfish, Kevin sees red. Abby is furious when she realizes how Kevin has been behaving and shocked when he verbally lashes out at her, making some very cruel remarks. In the garage, Abby and Tyrone discuss Kevin's appalling behavior and how he seems to be going out of his way to make them hate him. Tyrone calls at No 13 and urges Kevin to stop bottling up his fears, to talk to Abby, and to start appreciating his family and friends. Theo approaches Todd on the street and, after apologizing for his behavior, admits he really likes him. Todd invites him back to the house. Later, Todd is surprised when Theo arrives at Shuttleworth's to arrange a funeral. Todd is stunned by what he discovers. Back at home, Todd tells Billy about his discovery. Billy advises him to steer well clear. Billy is angry when Theo knocks on the back door. In the corner shop flat, Dee Dee vents to Sarah about the treatment she received from the hospital and how she's determined that nobody else should suffer in the way she did. When the midwife calls, Dee Dee makes clear her feelings. Meanwhile, an exhausted Ed calls at the hotel to fix a leaky pipe and leaves Debbie to mind Layla. Gemma texts Lou to cancel their lunch date and makes out one of the quads is poorly. Lou finds Gemma in the cafe and, giving her a tight smile, inquires why she isn't at home looking after her sick child. Ronnie suggests to Debbie it's time they reported Mick to the police as he's caused nothing but trouble. Debbie asserts that she'll call them herself. Having taken a troubling call from Dylan, Betsy tells Sean she is worried about how he is coping. Sean visits Dylan, but he tries to reassure him that Betsy is overreacting. In a quiet corner of the hotel bar, Debbie makes a call and explains that she's suffered 1 or 2 incidents and could do with talking to somebody. Debbie attends a private doctor's appointment and explains that she suffered a string of incidents. As she describes each one, we see the incidents in flashback: losing her purse and blaming Mick, losing her temper with Jack, the altercation with Mick in the ginnel and falling over, but letting Ronnie think it was Mick's fault. Convinced it is all down to the menopause, Debbie is shocked when he says she may have suffered a mini stroke, and he wants to refer her for some more tests for vascular dementia. He tells her she must come clean with Ronnie. Will she take his advice? At the hotel, Debbie goes straight into work mode. At No 13, Kevin tries to put things right with Jack, but Jack gives him the cold shoulder. In the Rovers, Kevin and Tyrone, Tim and Ronnie, and George and Eileen take part in the darts competition. He apologizes to Tyrone and is thrilled when Ronnie says he is thinking of proposing to Debbie. As the lads file out of the pub, Mick approaches Ronnie and demands his money. Ronnie sees red and pins Mick up against the wall. Kevin and Tyrone quickly step in. Back at home, Kevin hands Jack some go-karting tickets and Abby some flowers by way of an apology. Jack's thrilled, whilst Abby's pleased to see him back on an even keel. Tyrone returns home and is shocked to find Doreen there. Fizz explains that Alina's house has been flooded and she's agreed to look after Doreen in the meantime. Tyrone's delighted. It admits that he's out of his comfort zone and Layla deserves better. Tim returns home and announces to Sally that much as loves their life together, he reckons they could benefit from a new challenge and he's had an idea. Abby heads to Fresco to get some anti-sickness meds for Kevin. In the car park, a man called Carl tries to steal Abby's parking space, causing her to prang her car. Abby loses her temper, shouting that her husband is suffering from cancer. She lashes out, giving Carl a bloodied nose. Mortified, she apologizes, and he shrugs it off and heads back to his car. After it fails to start, Abby offers to fix it. He then tells her she is funny and gorgeous and asks her out for a drink. Back at the Rovers, she regales Kevin, Debbie, and Ronnie with the car park story, minus the attraction between her and the driver. But as she comes back from the ladies, she is shocked to find Carl chatting to the others and realizes he is Kevin and Debbie's brother. Meanwhile, Debbie makes a furtive call and arranges an appointment at the memory service clinic. When Hope hears Sally and Tim talking about fostering and not wanting to look after a child like Hope, she plots her revenge. Cassie packs Hope and Ruby off to the cinema so she can spend the afternoon with Steve. In the garden at No. 4, Tim and Sally discuss their fostering plans when suddenly a balloon full of water comes flying over the fence. A furious Sally turns to see Hope and Ruby filming the incident. Hope and Ruby return home to find Cassie and Steve in a state of undress. Hope suggests to Cassie that they should both keep quiet about what they've each been up to. Meanwhile, despite Sally's reservations about the fostering idea, Tim secretly books himself in for a fostering information session. In the hotel bar, Debbie reads a text from Abby, which leaves her confused. When Ronnie calls in with her lunchbox and points out she forgot it, Debbie masks her turmoil. In the cafe, Tim admits to Ronnie that he let slip to Debbie about his plan to propose to her. Ronnie calls at the hotel and, pulling out an engagement ring, gets down on one knee. In the Rovers, Carla breaks the news to Jenny that she needs to pay Lissa back and she's decided to sell the pub. Jenny's shocked. At the Rovers, Jenny receives a parcel. She is delighted to discover it's a bottle of champagne from Dominic's very own vineyard. Christina watches, a sly grin on her face. Jenny begs Carla to give her first refusal on buying the pub. Daisy watches, intrigued. At No. 11, Todd suggests to Julie they should set up a crowdfunding page to send her on the holiday of her dreams before it's too late. Eileen reckons it's a good idea. In the Rovers, Kit flirts with Sarah, who tries her best to play hard to get. Theo begs an affronted Todd not to cause a scene at his mother-in-law's funeral.